My name is Nicolas Honnorat. I'm French, and I've been living here for 8 years. And here at Maxus, I'm actually a performance manager. I did a master degree, and quickly it was requested to do I would say a work experience with an international scale. And most of the people I was at school with, they were staying in Marseille, back home, working in import-export. And I thought actually I could actually go abroad and improve my English and potentially get more, I would say professional skills. And here I am. I came for an internship and it moved from internship to a permanent role, and I loved it and I stay here. Yes and no. I mean, I was working as a marketing assistant, SEO. I was managing or working closely with the SEO manager as an SEO assistant, and I had the opportunity to move from client side in my first, actually my first 2 roles was client side, and I moved into Maxus based on, I would say advertising was a cool place to be. To be frank, I mean I never worked before my experience in London and outside of London. It's kind of direct came from Marseille direct. But yeah, I think London is a unique and exciting place to be. You could potentially compare that, and not from my experience, but from the kind of request and what we see in the media or the specialized media campaign. New York is also a buzz over there in the US, and you have potentially Singapore in APAC. So I would say you have the 3 places that allow you to be potentially live 24/7. But yeah, I would say London is the place in Europe. From a personal point of view, yeah, London is better for me because I'm close to my family. I'm on the same, I would say time difference, pretty much an hour. And it's kind of the center of the world if you want to travel. I think it's actually one of the strengths of Maxus, in the way that we're part of Group M, WPP, Maxus here are putting in place the Diversity Week, also the fact that we are agile and open. And I truly think this kind of the mix of culture is what making the power or la force of Maxus, in the way that you got some global client, we have someone that speaks Russian. You have some German campaign, we have someone that is from Germany. We have Nordic, I mean yes, we have some people working in display that are able to support on the Nordic market. And I think by having this kind of mix of personality and culture, this is what made Maxus kind of different from the rest. But once again, I don't know what is outside. I've been here for 3 years, but that's the perception I have here at Maxus. Now you're kind of touching a point very sensitive for me, the weather. And I would say I don't see myself as other part, and being French, moving to Paris, I don't see any point, because they work harder and the quality of the work is not as the level as England. And I would refuse to potentially go back home, where home will be Paris, and finishing maybe at 9 or 10 p.m. because that's what they're doing in France. They're working very, very hard. At the very beginning, I will be honest with you, I didn't really care. But the longer actually been voted and the closer we are to, not I would say me being kicked out of the country, but the reality is some people actually vote leave, and I feel I've been stabbed in the back. I'm not saying I did a lot of sacrifice for this country. We're not talking about fighting or whatsoever, but I came here without any job. I'm not even kind of legally, would say recognized by my country in terms of some benefit. For example, being French doesn't give me the NHS universal cover. You need to work in your own country. So because I left and I never worked, not even cover in my own country as a normal French citizen. So doing that, working here, I think us foreigners, we bring value to the country. Not saying we bring the entire value, but we contribute. I'm aware that we have the same issue in France after World War II. Some nationality came to help us to rebuild. But here we bringing the extra value. London is very specific and unique. For me, it's the capital of Europe and potentially sometimes I think like the world in terms of like the way that business is working. There is millions that actually like trade every day at the city. In terms of advertising, is the second biggest market in terms of like worldwide spend. And I think like this is, I mean like the country needs us. Otherwise, I mean like the country would never been like so powerful or at this level without people like me or Italian or Spanish people. I mean like, it's not like rude what I would say by categorizing, but as a French person, I mean like usually we work in catering or when we are fresh arriving in the country, Spanish and Italian potentially working in, I would say like hospitality. And then you made, I would say like your career progression. But here, all these different nationalities are what's making the strength and the power and the love of London. And right now, I feel like someone actually like, remove that to the city. It's not the same. I mean, like we see that through the news. There is like some video posted online about someone being offensive towards someone else. It's just a bit of shame, like this entire, just one word, Brexit. I've been screwing like not the nation, but the population just for what? The interest of few people. UK advertising will remain to this not very poor level, but like will never have the strength of like rising as it is right now.